Hello, this is Jason Silva, and I will be talking about leadership communications. What does a leader need? What does it take to be a leader? Well, first of all, you need to be believed, right? People need to believe what you say, people need to be inspired by what you say, and then they'll believe in you once you get to that point. So, how are you believed? How do you say things? Is it more important what you say? Is it more important how you say it? Is it important what body language you use, how you say it, with your facial expression, with your body, and how it connects in the moment, in the context you're saying it? So, for example, let me tell you an example. Hey, how are you? It's nice to see you. How does this sound? It sounds just like very generic. So if I come back and say something like, hello, hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Hello. Do you see the difference in how my voice sounded? Yes, you did, right? So it sounds more genuine, and you'll probably start connecting with the person easily if they perceive that. So it's not necessarily what you say. You can say things that sound like you have a good intention, but that doesn't mean you do. It has to connect with your mind, with your soul, and the way you use your body. So that's one part of how leaders should communicate, with body language. Body language is essential anywhere you go, not just for leaders, but in any way if you want to win people over. So, for example, right now, you see me using my hands because I look instructional, right? Well, I'm just talking, but I would like to provide some examples. This is an example of bad presence when talking to an audience. What is leadership presence? Is it something mysterious or magical? How did great actors and great leaders come to possess it? Were they born with it? Can it be learned? Whatever it is, it's important. Without one, no one listens. Without it, our opinions get no respect. Without it, we're not taken seriously. Without it, hard to be a leader. If we're able to project our energy so that it energizes others, and so that our thinking, our feeling, our verbal messages, and our bodily movements are all congruent, that can hugely reinforce what we are trying to communicate. So, what did I do wrong here? I'm reading off of something, right? Instead of it coming out of me, I could say something like, hello there, hey, I would like to talk to you, and I would like to talk about body language presence, how it's important for me to be here connected with you, talking by the heart and not by a script, so that I sound very convincing, very emotional, very direct, very down to earth. And if people see you knowing what you're saying, then they will take you seriously. You will have charisma, you will have an energy, a special glow that I really don't even know how to explain. But once you are leading a crowd because people like you, then you will understand what I'm talking about. You really don't want to sound like a little robot without emotion. That's, I think, something that you really don't think about. You just do it. You have presence. Like Martin Luther King, he was talking all the time, I have a dream. Things like that. And he was very, very, very energetic on top of an audience in a stage. Or Mahatma Gandhi, he was very peaceful. He knew how to talk to people. He knew what to say and how to say it. So, for example, if I were to say something like Mahatma Gandhi, will people believe me? Probably not, because they will know me as like a, what's the word? You see? There it goes. I'm not. So it's not natural. I had to think about it. So people are not going to believe it. We all have a sixth sense. We all know how to perceive when something's authentic and when something's not. So that's what I'm talking about. For example, when nowadays President Trump He's president, right? No doubt about that. But we've seen him sometimes talk with words that are very um, out of context. They sound very bad. Like he doesn't rehearse what he's gonna say. He just says what he thinks, and then that's why he later has to come back and restate what he said, or like send a release trying to explain what he said. You see, that's what we're trying to avoid. We're not trying to correct anything. We're trying to come off as strong when we're a leader, so that we can inspire people, so that we can have them believe us, and we can make them proud. We're not trying to make anyone angry, or we're not trying to read out of a script when we're talking, because that's just not an authentic leader. It needs to be something like an apology. For example, he screwed up so many times, and he never really apologizes. He tries to cover one thing with another, with another, with another, and that's a good example of how not to be a public leader. Like, I'm not criticizing him. He might be doing the best he can, but you need to think what you say when you say it in the moment, because once you say it, there's no really going back. So let's talk about one of the most important things in body language. What is one of the most important ones? It's eye contact. Eye contact. So, for example, if I'm a leader and I'm talking to my audience, do you prefer for me to be talking to you like this, like I am right now, looking straight at the camera, telling you something about knowledge, or do you want me to be, for example, looking up, looking down, delivering my message? I'm a leader. I want you to do this. I'm so excited. Yes, let's do this. We're gonna do this and that, and we're gonna do this goal, and whoever doesn't do it, then yes, okay. How does that sound? Of course, not convincing, right? You have to be having a very good body language. Keep wide shoulders. Keep your posture. Your posture, even if a person's not that confident, may make it seem as confident. And then an eye contact, and you're talking directly to someone. When you have an audience or you have a group of people you're talking to, try to focus your vision on someone. For example, there's 8 people. Look at the one in the middle and be like, hey team, I have a goal. We're going to do this. The goal is to do this, and we have to do it by this date, and the outcome is going to be a pay raise for everyone. So, for example, I'm going to start by assigning this to you, and this to you, and this to you. What do you think? Something like that, instead of like walking back and forth, moving around, looking up, looking down. That just makes you look impatient, and you're not synchronized with the people there. You have to create some magic, some energy, something that will make people listen to you. Because if people don't listen to you, even if you're the assigned leader or you're the manager, that doesn't matter, because that's just going to make you a leader by name, not by actually being one, So that's something that you really need to do. Eye contact. Be direct to people. Make them feel part of your world, like in a personal way, and that's the way people are going to take you serious. For example, the book just showed us an example of Gandhi, how people wouldn't take him seriously until they find out about his thoughts and emotions, and how he would help people get influence to better themselves. Then that's how people started seeing him as a leader. So this is exactly what I'm talking about, just in a different context. I cannot give you like a specific one, but I'm talking about, like, take it as a general rule of thumb when you're leading someone, that you need this, basically this 3 essential tips: body posture, shoulder width, straight, and talk to the eyes directly. And that will take you far as to people taking your work serious, and then you will have a good start. Let's say, for example, you're getting proposed to, and of course it's a very special moment, right? You want it to be a very memorable moment, very romantic, very unique, very peculiar, once in a lifetime experience, correct? So, do you want me to talk to you like in this voice, for example? If I'm proposing to you, hey, love, I just wanted to tell you that I love you, and I really been wanting to tell you that I want to be with you the rest of my life. This sounds authentic, right? Rather than, hey, how are you? Hey, yes, I'm very nervous, but I don't know if I should say this. I really want to marry you. See? Very different. So it's basically body language is a magic that you learn to possess and you learn to use the correct face in the correct situation to be believable. Because if you fail to do this, people are not going to like accept your apologies, they're not gonna accept your proposals, they're not gonna accept what you're saying, they're not gonna take you serious. So tell me, for example, what face is this? You're mad, you're surprised, right? So when you're doing something like this and you are talking like, oh my god, this just happened, then that's really saying, for example, you are surprised. But for example, you can say like, oh, what happened? In a more calm manner, then someone's probably going to be able to tell you more easily in this context what happened instead of you scaring them, making faces, you see. So it's the same thing and you want to know the same thing, but it's how you asked it. And that's another example of body language. Facial expressions are very well connected and very, very well connected to how you say things. So you gotta watch that out too. Last but not least, when you're talking to someone, please, 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 never, never, never put your hands in your pocket. Never cross your arms because this signals dissatisfaction, that you're not being completely truthful, that you're nervous about something. So doing this, for example, that's just gonna tell someone it's something's going on. You rather just focus your hands somewhere else in a steady place. Don't put your hands in your pocket because that can signal you're not really interested. Um, Look in the eye, like I already said, but I'm talking now about things to avoid. Nah, never put your hands in your pocket, and I know this by experience. A lot of people hate that. Don't cross your arms. Don't scratch your head, because that's signaling concern, and that just activates a very protective barrier with people when you're scratching your head, because that's just kind of signaling uh, discontent. Don't look into something else. Don't look in your clock. That can tell people that you're in a hurry or you're not interested. That's another thing I've noticed about body language. Never do that because it makes you seem like you're in a rush. What else can I think of? You shouldn't ever also touch your face a lot. When you touch your face a lot, that means you're lying. Yep. So that's it for now. I was just wanting to present tips about body language, how strong body language is, because right now, for example, it's not what I'm saying, it's how I'm saying it and how I'm bringing it. And you see, I've kept my arms like this because I'm really trying to prove a point. And I'm not really nervous, I'm just trying to compress all the knowledge I have in body language because I really do have a lot. And it's very, very fun to use it to your advantage because once you master the body language, you can really, really, really go very, very far in life. I've started out of nothing and now I know a lot of people and I travel around the US for my job to organize events. And I really, really always keep a very positive energy. If I'm mad, I leave it at home because when you leave at home what you feel anxious or angry about, and you just come into somewhere else with a very good energy, people perceive that, and that helps improve your body language, and that helps people know that you're there for them and not somewhere else where you don't want to be. You know, to have a good body language, you have to be not stressed. You have to leave your problems aside. You have to focus only on what you're doing, on that person you're talking to. You need to look in the eye and you need to look like you're living for the moment. And that basically comprises body language, a positive one, a healthy one, a successful one. That's it for today. Okay, so let's talk about what's important in body language. What do you need to succeed with your body language to deliver a message? Let me look into the camera. Eye contact. You need eye contact to know that to let people know that you're talking to them in a very